Libyan ambassador to Cameroon says nothing can prove that the video about slavery is coming from his country. He disclosed to the press in the nation's capital, Yaounde, that his country has put in place a commission of inquiry to probe into the matter in Zimbabwe. The deposed vice president is now the president. Emerson Mnangagwa has taken command as the president of Zimbabwe. He says the land reforms project will not be reversed. In this edition of the newscast, we take you to the inauguration ceremony of the new strongman of Zimbabwe after the resignation of Robert Mugabe. I'll be right back. Good evening and thanks for joining me. I am Fwan Sinchanji, watching the weekend edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. We are broadcasting live from Douala, Cameroon, Equinoxe Central News Desk. We take you to the National Assembly. Just to note that today it was a relative calm at the National Assembly after yesterday's brouhaha that erupted after about 12 MPs from the Social Democratic Front Party, the SDF, stormed the National Assembly with peace plans and chanting provocative songs, demanding that the Anglophone crisis be included on the agenda. Today, it was a relative calm in the absence of SDF MPs, and according to information from the Glass House, just few MPs attended were spotted at the National Assembly this day. It should be noted that a member of parliament, Honorable Lisinge, who died, will be buried tomorrow. Information reached us that several MPs will be heading to the southwest region of Cameroon. The Libyan ambassador to Cameroon says till date nothing proves that the video circulating on social media and mainstream media is coming from Libya on slavery. They disclosed to the press that was yesterday in the nation's capital, Yaounde, saying that his country has, however, put in place a commission of inquiry and that those responsible will face the justice. Details in the following report. The Libyan ambassador to Cameroon says till date nothing can prove that videos circulating on social and mainstream media are coming from Libya. In a press conference held in Yaounde at the embassy on the wake of discovery of modern slavery in his country, he says his government is preoccupied with the situation.
Se passe en Libye. Rien. Ce sont de présomptions.
First of all, till date, nobody has proven that the report was done in Libya. It is just mere presumption. Our country is taking it seriously. Libya is not accepting what is going on. The diplomat, however, says his government has opened investigations with a commission of inquiry put in place.
Le gouvernement a pris ça au sérieux. Il y a une commission d'enquête qui a été...
The government has taken it seriously. A commission has been created at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, working 24/24 together with ambassadors of other African countries.
Cette cellule travaille 24 heures sur 24 heures avec les ambassades libyennes qui sont en Afrique et avec...
If anyone is found guilty, he will respond to justice. The Libyan ambassador says all Libyans reject slavery, condemn the act. He went further to say his country is very receptive and will continue to do so. The director of the Cameroon Football Academy, Anafoot, Carl Enongachu, says the academy will open its doors September 2018. He disclosed, that was today, he made a disclosure today after a visit he paid to the governor of the Little Region, Samuel Dieudonné Ivaha Dibois, together with his close collaborators. Matjik and Gabriel was there for the news.
It was the first outing for the director of the Cameroon Football Academy, Anafoot, Carl Enongachu, to Douala since his appointment. His mission was to brief the governor and media organs about the objectives of the Football Academy that was created by a presidential decree 3 years back. In the course of his exchange with media men, the director of Anafoot said 500 youths will start the academy that will begin September 2018. But the selection of these 500 youths will be done under certain criteria.
You must be a good player first. Then we are working on a very important aspect that usually some coaches neglect. We're going to insist on morphology, on the profile of the player. Believe me that if we don't know the background of the player, we might face difficulties at the long run, maybe having players below 1.50 m or having a goalkeeper who will be below 160 or 170 is going to be very difficult for us. So we lay emphasis on that. We're working with some experts. Can tell you today that we'll be discussing with Thomas Kono, who gave us already the height of a goalkeeper of 12 years, 11 years that we shall need.
Apart from the training of young Cameroonians, other domains have been envisaged when ANAFoot open its doors next year.
We are going to also see certain domains like coaching, physiotherapists, sport managers, stadium directors. They have to pay something to be trained because they're going to be trained by experts. We also have possibilities of you, after your training, to be employed somewhere because we're going to sign contracts with some councils, and we started already discussing with some mayors, and we are also in partnership with the Ministry of Employment. So we believe in some few years to come, we are going to create jobs.
For all of the objectives of ANAFoot to be achieved, the necessary resources must be made available. And Carl Enongachu is quite optimistic about the availability of these resources.
You must know that as tutorial, we have the Minister of Sports and Physical Education. At the same time, we have the Minister of Finance. It means what? ANAFoot is an administrative public establishment. It specializes in football. It means we're going to have subvention from the state.
The meeting at the governor's office was an opportunity for the director of the Cameroon Football Academy to present Nicolas Tonye and Vasilus Eseme Olivier, regional representative of ANAFoot, to the governor of Littoral Region, Samuel Dieudonné Ivaha Dibois.
Now, stakeholders in the health sector have met in Douala in the public-private partnership deal. After the meeting, they told reporters that the tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS, and malaria, that the prevalence rate has dropped drastically. They equally promise that in the years to come, it will be zero prevalence rate as far as these diseases are concerned. Innocent Aze was there for the news.
3 killer diseases, HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria, face fights of eradication from public-private establishments and enterprises in Cameroon. Attaining zero prevalence rates in all sectors is the main objective of health actors of the public-private partnership, who met in Douala Thursday for an educative ceremony in its second edition. Statistics indicate a drop in HIV/AIDS prevalence rates in Cameroon.
In 2004, there was one demographic survey that gave the prevalence of 5.5%. In 2011, the prevalence dropped to 4.3. Now our projection by EPP spectrum shows that the prevalence is around 3.9.
Same with malaria that claims many lives, especially children, with 65% recorded in 2016.
We have observed great progress in terms of the malaria mortality between 2000 and 2015. There's been a reduction of about 30% of malaria mortality. However, we still have about 2,000 Cameroonians each year who still die from malaria, so there's a need to continue and to accelerate the prevention and treatment strategies around malaria.
Tuberculosis, simply referred to as TB, is noted by health actors the number 7 killer disease. A presentation on it indicates the curable and preventable infection is witnessing a significant decline in its prevalence rates as compared to previous years.
Et maintenant, ces 22 000 peuvent être moins de 22 000.
Enterprises are also targeted sectors believed to be where TB, HIV/AIDS, and malaria predominate. The fight against these 3 ailments in enterprises seem to be working.
We try to talk to our workers about the impact of tuberculosis, HIV, and AIDS to sensitize them, so that especially for AIDS, AIDS, for them to get screened. Because once you are screened, you know your status, and from there we know the way forward.
Government, through the ministries of public health and that of labor and social security, exhorts private sectors to contribute actively in the fight against HIV. TB, and malaria relentlessly, such that employees remain protected, spend less on health, and see their productive capacities ameliorate.
Nkonsamba in the Mungo division, once a town of reference, today it is a shadow of itself with poor road networks. We are told that vehicle owners are complaining that they visit garage on a daily basis. Our reporter Catherine Kone takes us to Nkonsamba, the town which was before one of the biggest in Cameroon.
Roads in Nkonsamba in the littoral region are noted for potholes. These potholes, according to the population, is as a result of poor repair works carried out by local construction company that lack the capability of maintaining tight roads. Vehicle owners, bike riders and pedestrians complained of fatigue after plying the stretch of road. For several decades, the road has been abandoned to itself. According to the population, it is close to 7 years since a budget was made for the construction of the road. Yet, the project is to be realized. They added that the local company keeps doing the same thing on the road and reaping government of huge resources. Bike riders and vehicle owners complain of their constant visit to the garage due to the many gallops into potholes. Plying the stretch of road in Bonango is an uphill task due to the numerous craters. The mayor has assured the population that the ongoing construction work on the road is temporary and the government has mapped the road for rehabilitation. However, the population have urged authorities in charge to rehabilitate the road before coming for campaigns.
We now take you to news out of the country in Zimbabwe, where the sacked vice president of the Republic of Zimbabwe, now president, has pledged to use all his knowledge, strength and ability to rule the country genuinely and protect Zimbabweans from any harm. Emerson Mnangagwa made the promise during his oath-taking ceremony that took place this Friday in front of thousands of Zimbabweans in Harare. He said the land reforms project will not be tampered with. Innocent Aze.
At last, the recently fired Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, this Friday, November 24, 2017, becomes President. Emerson Mnangagwa takes over from Robert Mugabe after military intervention. Thousands of Zimbabweans filled to capacity the National Sports Stadium to witness the inauguration of their new president in the capital Harare. The swearing was conducted by Chief Justice Luke Malaba.
In terms of Section 94 of the Constitution, the President must take before the Chief Justice the oath of President in the form set out in the 3rd schedule. Now, therefore, I, Luke Malaba, Chief Justice of the Republic of Zimbabwe, do hereby call upon you, Emerson Mnangagwa, to take the oath of President.
In response, the people's preferred leader, Emerson Mnangagwa, promised to lead Zimbabwe into the new era with all his knowledge, strength and ability.
I, Emerson Mnangagwa, swear that as President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, I will be faithful to Zimbabwe and obey, uphold, and defend the Constitution and all other laws of Zimbabwe. and that I will promote whatever will advance and oppose whatever may harm Zimbabwe. That I will protect and promote the rights of the people of Zimbabwe. That I will discharge my duties with all my strength to the best of my knowledge and ability, and true to the dictates of my conscience, and that I will devote myself to the well-being of Zimbabwe and its people. So help me God.
Several dignitaries from Zimbabwe and other African countries joined to give congratulatory handshakes to the new president of the Republic of Zimbabwe and chief of the ZANU-PF party.
I'm sorry.
He was also honored with 21 gunshot salutes by the military. Emerson Mnangagwa will be in office as president for 90 days and will stand as candidate for the country's 2018 presidential election.
His Excellency the President.
Thanks indeed, Innocent Aze, for the in-depth report on what happened today in Harare at the stadium there concerning the inauguration ceremony of the new president of the Republic of Zimbabwe. 93 years old Robert Mugabe is now former president of Zimbabwe. That does it for the news on Equinoxe Television. It has been a pleasure being with you all this while. Good night. The team joins me to say have a nice weekend.